I didn't want to do this, but just because of the circumstance and everything happening right now, it is too good to be true and too good to ignore. You know what I mean? If anyone's been following along this journey of why I started this channel and what I've been up to, it was mostly for AI e-commerce agents. I believe right now we are at a stage in tech and in AI and agents where it's very possible you can pretty much have fully autonomous agents running your full entire business, your whole entire empire. And this doesn't include just your empire, also even your personal life. And my bet was to pretty much bet on AI agents being able to run the e-commerce stores. So as you can see from some of the previous videos that I launched on the page, it was just pretty much me doing my thing, live recording, and just showing how I'm building out the store, because I used to do dropshipping back in 2018. So I figured, hey, what if I could just apply that same skill set, build a fully AI agent that pretty much documents the whole entire process of how I'm building the store, how I'm taking it to profitability and revenue, and pretty much just transfer all my knowledge and expertise into the bot. But the only problem and constraint here is that a lot has changed in terms of advertising, how much costs went up, how the game is just a bit different, but at its core, the fundamentals are still basically the same, but a lot has changed, and it is like a massive difference. And I'm not saying it's not possible, whatever, because people are still crushing it nowadays in e-commerce. Some people are doing better than ever because of the current landscape, but a lot has changed in terms of the strategy, the approach, and all that. So what I want to mention on that is, like, there was a bit of a learning curve, and nonetheless, I mean, I was able to get my agent to not only research all the products, put them all up, schedule the campaigns, even monitor some of it, build its own product importation skills, manage the ads, monitor the ad performance throughout the night, and then even toggle it off if it meets a certain stop loss and things like that. I mean, we were using Kimi K2.5 for the overall agent. Sometimes it's very frustrating to even use it. I wish we could be using like Claude, Opus, or Sonnet for it, but that would really rack up a bill. I was roughly spending $10 to $15 per day with the agent spend, right? And that's, I mean, pretty solid, you know what I mean? Especially if you're on a budget and you're trying to still get a taste of these agents versus running something like Claude. Because if you run OpenClaw with Claude, you're gonna literally run out of tokens in about an hour. You know what I mean? I've spoken to people where they spend $20 of their usage in just an hour, and it's crazy. That's their whole rate limit right there, if they had like a token access. But I know that's different now, where they're trying to prevent OpenClaw and the whole token access thing. But I'm digressing here. The whole purpose of what I set out to build was to a fully autonomous AI e-commerce agent that can pretty much do exactly as I said. You know what I mean? Just build on top of Shopify or any of these providers out there, give it the right tools, the right skills, the right memory, give it context about what this business is, what we're trying to do, find a profitable niche and stuff like that. So, I mean, we did make solid progress, and nonetheless, I mean, the AI agent itself made 3 sales, so 75, but we're pretty deep in the red, probably about negative 500. So it's still not profitable, but that's kind of the expectation, because when you're doing this thing, I mean, there's a bunch of unknown waters, and exactly how this thing would pretty much turn out. You know, I mean, there's just a lot of questions in the air. But nonetheless, I mean, I learned a lot, the product conversion skill, the manage the ads and things like that. And quite honestly, I'm still very bullish on AI commerce and how agents are going to be transforming how commerce is done, whatever that means. You know what I mean? But the way I define it is agents coming into the picture where you can transact with agents can transact between each other, or somehow they can just help you make better decisions with purchases, right? So that's how I define AI commerce, and quite honestly, it's going to be a massive market in the future. So I'm still going to be looking out on that on the side, maybe doing something, maybe like kind of as a side project or like a side hobby, maybe kind of looking into it, maybe even speaking about it. I don't know, playing around. But the thing is, I have to switch the focus now, because it's absolutely crazy with the agents and how everything is transforming the current landscape. And just this past week, my one friend wanted me to get an AI agent up for him, right? And I was like, all right, whatever, I'll set it up for him, because I already did it myself. Wasn't bad. It was a pretty good learning experience, just kind of see what it's like doing it for someone else, because he's quite untechnical, and it's totally understandable, because the barrier to pretty much set this up is quite a pain in the ass if anyone has actually set it up. And that's totally understandable. I mean, there's a lot of things you have to do with a terminal. You have to understand kind of how to navigate your computer. You have to kind of either understand how to navigate with a Mac Mini, or say your own laptop, whatever it is. So there's a lot of variables, and it's quite frustrating if you don't know what the hell you're doing, let alone know what you're doing with an AI agent. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of things there that pretty much make it hard for that layman person to get a feel and hand on a AI personal agent. You know what I mean? And OpenClaw is really pretty much the hottest talk and thing right now. So what is the purpose of what I'm trying to get down to in this video? The whole point and purpose is how I'm making a strategic pivot and why I'm considering it, because there's a lot of things going on here. So just for personal context, I'm personally really in a high urgency mode where I have to get something work. You know what I mean? I've in the past year or so, I moved out maybe 2.5 years ago from my own place in New Jersey, and now I'm pretty much in the Sacramento area, and I'm pretty much just, new place. I wanted to change my habits, change my life, and pretty much just get in a different environment where it's going to force growth. So came out here, got a job at a startup as an operations lead. I mean, the pay wasn't anything insane, but it was just a good experience to get into startups, right? And then eventually I saw the whole wave with like AI apps, web apps, using TikTok, influencer marketing, things like that. So I jumped into the wave onto that once I got some experience in this startup, and then I started like coding really heavily with AI and then a lot of things. So eventually I was able to build and monetize an app and then sell it literally within a year. So I didn't have like a crazy exit, but nonetheless, it was still pretty solid. I was able to get that to about 16,000 users, and I'm just trying to give you context, right? So you understand where I'm at. But the thing is, when I was running this AI app, the biggest problem with mobile apps is that the payout period is extremely long. Especially in the beginning, it would probably take about 6 weeks just to get a payout. And that doesn't even include the full, like, you know how there's like a LTV and there is a cost per purchase when you are acquiring a user, right? Especially with paid ads or anything like that, because we were using TikTok influencer marketing. So the thing is, I wouldn't break even or even profit on a customer until like day 45, 60, or whatever, because if my cost per purchase is, say, like somewhere between $7 and $12, it depends, especially if I flopped on an influencer marketer and these people are either paying monthly, yearly, or weekly, I'm not going to profit until, say, like the 3rd or 6th billing cycle. You know what I mean? And it depends if they have a trial. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of factors to play in. So I wasn't making my money back really fast, and it was putting me in the red until, say, I sold it, and then the recurrings and the payout schedules would pretty much cover it, and then I'd even profit on top of the sale of the app. So that pretty much set me in red in terms of like just debt and stuff last year, because I was like, the app was working, but at the same time not working, which kind of contradicts itself. And the reason why is because I was trying to scale, but I was constrained by scaling because I also have to survive, I have to pretty much pay for my own expenses, my survival, all this shit. And there was just pretty much a lot I have to take into consideration to make everything work. I want to work on startups, I want to work on AI, I want to work on tech, all these things I'm really passionate about. I'm actually been really deep into this space since like 2022, you know what I mean, when I was really trying to figure out where to point my direction. So now I'm pretty deep in it. Like, I'm first with a lot of things, you know what I mean, versus how I was back then, because I have a huge e-commerce background, because my whole journey online with like Make Money started with e-commerce, but I pretty much lost all of it, you know what I mean, as embarrassing as that is to say. I pretty much lost all of it. So I pretty much had to start all over and figure out like, where do I want to go? You know what I mean? I don't want to be a dropship forever, but it's whatever. You know what I mean? It is what it is. It served its purpose, and I had to learn from it. And now the current condition of where I am with everything is I was trying to get this AI e-commerce agent to work, to maybe potentially raise funding, to maybe potentially get interest, or even get the store to pay for its own operation. So it's like, basically, I'm covering the cost of training and working with this AI to cover its own costs and pretty much just pay for my own learning curve, you know what I mean? Because my expenses right now aren't anything crazy, but that did add up like an extra 1.1 to 1.3 in expense for February. And it's just like, it's realistically speaking unsustainable, because right now, other than maybe periodic client work I had prior to what I'm about to explain, it just, the math didn't work out right, and it would just put me deeper in a red, you know what I mean? So I'm just in a high urgency mode where I have to figure out something that works. And I don't know, to me, it charges me up, it drives me, and I'm super motivated just to do things. And now, for the first time in like such a long time, I actually feel the market pulling something out of me where I have to fulfill it, you know what I mean? I have to fulfill it, and it's incredibly important for me that I do. So what I'm about to share, give me 1 second, let me just make sure I'm on schedule with everything, because there's just a lot of things going on, and I just want to make sure I don't miss an appointment with something. But I'm not going to pause on you guys, because I want to just keep it real, keep it authentic. Let me get my Google Calendar, just make sure I'm on schedule with everything. All right, I'm on schedule with everything, so I got plenty of time. Anyway, just wanted to make sure. But where I was gonna go with this is pretty much this. Where I was gonna go is my friends asked me to help him set up this AI agent just for his own personal use case, right? The OpenClaw, set it up, whatever. Bit of a learning curve, but nonetheless, I still did my thing. I gave him like a really nice setup for, whatever he wanted. Something basic for him to learn with and then just iterate and make better for his own use cases. And then I decided, I was like, wait a minute, I see people doing, this offer in San Francisco. So I was like, hey, I actually met a guy who's crushing it in San Francisco, just setting it up for people. So I was like, why don't I just do my own AI setup agency, or ASA, I guess you can call it, whatever the fuck you want to call it, in Sacramento, So I literally launched some ads on Friday, literally got a sale next day, got a bunch of booked calls, and just so you understand how this is going for me right now. So the first person already fulfilled, and it's Monday right now. It's fucking Monday right now. And the thing is, like, my whole entire calendar is booked for the fucking week. It's fucking booked. And I'm not even spending that much. And I'm a solo operator here. So this shit is absolutely crazy. And I'm gonna have to scale this shit fast and just monetize the revenue. So let me just show you an example. So first guy I already fulfilled, he's already referring clients for me. So he's already telling me he's got a referral for me. So I screenshotted this and I blocked out some stuff because, just privacy. But look, these are all bookings for today. This happened literally all today. And that doesn't even include the full ad spend that's coming. Like, I literally had to pretty much pause my calendar for today because I just have too many bookings and I don't even know. I'm literally have to fulfill some freaking orders today. So I'm literally about to get on 6 calls in the next 3 hours, right? And pretty much fulfill them. Hopefully one of them I can literally close the same day. So far my close rate has been 100%. For every single offer that I got on a call, I closed them 100%. And there were only 2 no-shows. So over the weekend I was just kind of slowly, I was like, what the hell, this is like too much. This is too much. Over the weekend I got 5 calls booked, and I was slowly booking it, and then more people booked throughout the week. So total I probably got like over the weekend 8 to 9 bookings for the week, and then already 2 committed extra customers for this week, and 1 closed on Saturday. But it's crazy, So 100% close rate. My ads are through the roof. My return on ad spend is fucking 20x. It's 20 to 25x. Isn't that fucking crazy? Because on Saturday I spent $50 in ads. I spent $50 in fucking ads, and I literally made back that same day $600. So that's over 10x, And then I closed 2 more committed people who I got a booking for over the next week or so, And that's, if I spent $50 on ads on Friday or on Sunday, $50 on ads yesterday, and I scaled it up today. So, now it's even coming in even more. So it's crazy. So I spent $50, like 50 yesterday. And if I already closed $1,700 worth of service work, that's a 34x ROI, literally right there. I spent $50 and I made it back almost $2,000. And now it's getting to the point where I have to literally fucking charge more because I just can't fulfill everything. So I literally can't do low ticket things anymore. So I'm going so freaking bullish on this current offer, and I'm just going to be documenting what I can publicly because there's a lot of sensitive things I'm dealing with. So I don't know how comfortable clients would be with actually me going there, recording anything, especially their personal space. So I'm, going to respect their privacy, things like that. But this is crazy. It's really just channeling the demand, and I really have to do this. I'd be so stupid to say no to this. And if anything, you could just learn a ton. You can learn a ton in terms of the skills you get, the people you're working with, what they want, and then potentially startup ideas from this can emerge out of it. Or at some point I can even build, something that's more automated. Because I really want to see how I can automate things and be more hands-off. But nonetheless, this is a perfect opportunity for me to document like when I'm in the trenches. And just for context, so I'm not bullshitting you guys, and I'm like legit here, I'm going to show you real quick my spend. So, I'm not bullshitting out here. This is for real. Oh, 1 second. So as you can see here, what the heck? So this total spend over, what's it called? So Saturday, Sunday, and Saturday, Sunday, and a little bit of today. So look, I already had 18 booked calls. I'm roughly paying, if you look at the average, I'm paying roughly $9 per booked call. And then per purchase, it's, what's it called? I already have 3. So this doesn't even factor in all the people that I have coming into me. You know what I mean? It doesn't even factor all that in. But if the total yesterday I spent was $100 total for all the people I have committed to close, then that pretty much means I literally paid about $34 per customer. So 100 divided by 3. So my cost per purchase is roughly $33. It's fucking crazy. And now it's just really about scaling it up. You know what I mean? So I'm just gonna change the way my how I'm pretty much documenting everything in my channel, because I want it kind of to be more raw and authentic, kind of like this, and just test it out, see whether or not I like the format, and if this is something that you enjoy watching versus just me on the computer and doing all that. But yeah, whatever. It's gonna be a huge learning process. I'm super hyped and pumped and a little bit overwhelmed because there's gonna be a lot. You know what I mean? There's gonna be a lot. There's gonna be a lot coming, and I'm just gonna have to figure a lot of things out along the way. You know what I mean? And everyone's thing is so different. So I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to productize this to make it more so of like, hey, you know, I can productize it like this. So this is exactly what you get. You know what I mean? Because, you know, people can want it for different needs. You know, this is an agent. It's very personal to you. It can do many things. But yeah, so we're gonna get in the trenches. Had some morning sales calls. Little update here. Unfortunately, no sales for today, but some guy pretty much just rescheduled for a future date because there's a new Mac Mini coming out, things like that. I still have some more to go today, so hopefully we'll see how that turns out. Maybe we can close someone and get them set up today. You know what I mean? That's that. In the meantime, what I did was I pretty much wanted to prevent no-shows for like Calendly and stuff like that. There were already a few no-shows with my offer that I was advertising online. And the thing is, it is kind of annoying where you set up these calls and then you show up and then there's literally no one that shows up, right? That's kind of annoying, but that's just kind of the nature of it. And my thinking here is that I just need some workflows. So I currently have on Calendly, let me see if I can pause this thing and show you. So yeah, we have the automation set up. I got a few, just creating some processes to increase show up rate and, you know, what happens if someone doesn't actually show up. So we have a 24-hour one, we have a 1-hour one, we have a 4-hour one, and then we have a no-show 1 hour. And the whole point of this is to pretty much decrease drop off and recover any potential lost leads or just people who demonstrated interest for our offer here. And, you know, if you're spending money, you don't want to let that go. You know what I mean? Especially if you're running some sort of targeting ads. Speaking of targeting ads, I also set up some targeting ads for my offer. And what I'm going to be doing with that is pretty much just targeting people who visited the website offer that I have for the area. And from there, pretty much just retargeting, I suppose right now, one type of person, and that is someone who visited the website. They didn't book a scheduled meeting, right? So the meeting Facebook event didn't trigger. And then also they visited the site and they either clicked the button to book a call, but the condition is they didn't schedule anything. So I have retargeting ads based on some of the ads that I set up are working. And that is launching tomorrow, so hopefully we can get some really cheap cost per leads, or should I say cost per booked calls. Right now I'm paying roughly $15 per booked call, not bad. And I mean, I'm getting quite a bit of website visits, so that's a really good sign. And right now it's really just about seeing if I can get that cheaper, especially to the more people see your offer, and not just letting them see it once and that's it. It takes a few touch points before people can actually, you know, trust you, whatever, come back. And another thing is, like, right now I don't really have any testimonials. So what I was doing here in the meantime was I was actually creating a sort of testimonial page so that I can give to potential clients. and then they can just pretty much, what is it called? They can just fill it out, and then from there, I can get a either text review or a video review, and then from there, that can increase conversions for anytime I ever work with anyone. You know what I mean? That's because testimonials can increase conversions up to 300% or something like that, right? Something crazy. So I'm using currently Senja. Let me show you right here. I'm actually on my computer just getting this thing. I'm using this tool called Senja, and you can get 10 to, what is it, 10, I think it's 15 free testimonials. You can also import your stuff. It's not bad. And yeah, I'm just trying to build that wall of testimonials, especially if you're selling online offers and stuff like that, the sales pages. You definitely want to have a wall of testimonials to get people in, and then convert them from there. Were you how did you envision it perhaps working with you? You mind sharing a little bit about your business or what exactly you are doing every single day?
For example, one of the things that I would like him to do is post on X about my topic constantly, what's going on in the world in crypto and
Okay.
especially XRP and Ripple. My business is around crypto.
Okay.
I sell a coaching program, and I do a lot of videos.
Okay.
Eventually, I would like it to use with different AI tools to be able to create the videos on automatic, so I don't even have to make the videos. I make videos, 2 or 3 videos a day, and it's obviously it's very time and energy consuming.
Yeah, for sure. As you saw there, that was a real video of me talking to a potential client actually interested in getting their OpenAI or OpenClaw set up. And I thought I was just going to do something basic with this guy. Quite honestly, he was just someone new exploring, trying to see what he can do with OpenClaw, see how he can replace a potential employee he has with AI. And he was actually really interested in seeing how he can potentially use this thing to pretty much get some workflows completed, automated fully. So one thing was getting X posting, being able to research topics around crypto and blockchain, and then using some sort of tool that can pretty much clone his avatar and then post autonomously on social media. So I pretty much explained to him the technical feasibility of it, how is it possible, if you can do it. And right now in its current state of AI and everything, it's definitely impossible. And basically he was sold on the idea of at least getting a basic setup, which for this guy, I just threw him an offer of okay, $797, I'll come and hook you up, you know what I mean? And I'm still testing these offers because I'm just trying to find a range where people just stop saying no. And to him, I mean, it's nothing, you know what I mean? I started charging with this offer at $497. That's kind of the base, but I'm slowly just going to be raising and just trying different prices to see where people stop finding value for the setup. But clearly people find a shit ton of value for OpenClaw and all that because of how much it can do for you, know what I mean? Because it really is game changing if you get the flows right, if you set up the cron jobs right, and it's actually performing and getting shit done. That's the most important thing. So the way I think I'll be able to sell this guy is if I just show him a little prototype of okay, I cloned myself, sent it out to him, and I can also post it on my X, just a quick experimentation, then I'll delete it, or maybe another X account, post it, and just be yo, my OpenClaw pretty much researched this topic, created a transcript, and then pretty much posted it for me. So if he can see that and feel that, and then he can see that this is something I can schedule on a recurring basis, then he's gonna be yo, I need this, because one frustration and pain point that this guy had was he's just creating too much content per day, and it takes a shit ton of time, which is totally understandable and why some content creators get burned out. So I'm gonna create him a MVP, and if that works and I sell him, that's a $2,500 close right there. You know what I mean? So super lucrative. And he gave me a soft commitment pretty much for the most basic thing, but he wanted something more custom. for its workflow. And that's something I noticed on a sales call yesterday that I was with someone, where a lot of these guys, you know what I mean, or these business owners, whatever, guys and gals, that they're just looking for very custom workflows that meets their business needs and that can basically just save them time, energy, effort, you know what I mean, so they can just continue on with their day. And just so you guys know, I'm not capping here, and you know, I actually have a landing page and everything set up, so I'm trying to be transparent with my process and my documentation, so there actually is like receipts and shit, and if there's anything else you want to see, just let me know. Obviously, like super private stuff, client information, things like that, or anything else that I just know it doesn't make sense to share, I'm not going to share. I'm just going to respect people's privacy and stuff like that. But in terms of my own operations and how I'm kind of like doing things, I'll just share things where I feel comfortable with. And that honestly, you know, just to document the whole entire process, because that's kind of why I started, and I just kind of want to, you know, just be transparent, you know what I mean, authentic, and show you guys that this is actually all legit. And, you know, I'm trying to build something legit here. Unfortunately, though, the whole thing with the AI commerce thing, temporarily have to put a pause on that, because, you know, I already explained my situation on that. But nonetheless, I'm going to stop blabbering here, and I'm just going to show you real quick, so don't mind my setup here of what's going on my landing page. So this is my landing page, and helping people in the local area. So there's like a quick video, literally like less than 2 minutes, just explaining what this offer is, how it works, and pretty much explaining here like the how it works, right? Like what is this shit capable of, who's this for, what they get in the basic, the frequently asked questions, and yeah, just like pretty much some call to actions. It's as simple as that, you know what I mean? It's as simple as that. I get like roughly, let's see, I don't even know. Let's look at Google Analytics real quick. I'm just gonna open up my Google Analytics. All right, just flipping this camera. I'm gonna open up my Google Analytics, and we're gonna see like what's the performance like right now on this website, because it's all mostly being driven with just ads. And I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? Like, I'm just pretty much targeting the local area, roughly a 20-mile radius. And, you know, that's the whole point. You know, I mean, I want to be in the area. I want to serve people in the area here, provide them massive value. So I've literally been running this for about, so I've been running this for about, since Saturday morning. And let's see. Since Saturday morning, and here we have roughly 185 visitors, and yeah, just some basic stats here. Not bad, you know what I mean? So roughly like pretty much 180 people just tracking it on Google Analytics, and this is not bad, you know what I mean? Not bad, and I have a pretty strong conversion rate, you know what I mean? Like right now, I know like I'm starting to get some numbers. And, you know, the more ads I run and the more people I close, I can, you know, make this more calculated, because it's all just math at the end of the day. Right now, my cost per purchase is roughly, my cost per booking is somewhere around $15. And every sale I make, it's somewhere around $50. And that's crazy, you know what I mean? Because then I close someone for anywhere between anywhere between $500 to even $1,000, and up to like potentially this guy that, you know, I can work with up to $2,500 or even more, you know what I mean? So it's definitely legit. And, you know, there's a lot of excitement, stuff like that, but at the same time, I have to actually close and go do these guys. So unfortunately, didn't have a actual job to go complete today, other than sales calls and 2 no-shows, unfortunately. But nonetheless, just one thing before I wrap it up, because this is going to be like the last clip for the video today. And then tomorrow, I'm probably going to explain the offer and why I chose the specific offer, and why do I think it's a killer offer, and and why I guess it's working. I mean, I'll explain in just a bit, but I want to show you guys something funny, because, you know, there's always going to be a freaking troll like this, you know what I mean? I don't know why there's trolls like this that just straight up waste people's time and money, you know what I mean? So check this out. This is some, like, there's just freaking stupid trolls like this. So we had a scheduled booking from Anus Ripper We got a bigger anus ripper, and then we got the biggest butt dripper. So if anyone wants to, work with these guys, just, hit them up. You know what I mean? This is just a straight spam. So, I mean, people are already trolling, you know what I mean? This type of shit you gotta deal with out here in Cali, unfortunately. But that's gonna be all for today. I wanted to make something more authentic and just kind of like this, change up the vibe, and just mainly make it more around like my day and how I'm thinking about things, sharing things, stuff like that. So hopefully this approach, this format is better and feels something you'd like to watch. Just let me know. If there's anything you want me to talk about, just let me know.